If you want to be a better speaker, all you need to do is follow these 3 simple steps, taking 10 minutes a day for 10 straight days. And I promise you, you're going to see transformative results. I've done this for many of my clients, and I've done this on myself. The first thing that you do is you record yourself speaking about any subject you want, impromptu, for 2 minutes. Record yourself for 2 minutes. And when you speak, I don't care what you say. We're not focused on your content. We're strictly focused on how you sound, how you project yourself. Now, there's one thing to keep in mind is that when you record, do not record with your selfie camera. When you use your selfie camera, you get distracted, you start looking at yourself, and you're not really focusing on where your eyes need to be, which is directly at the camera lens. So instead, flip your camera around so that the back camera is facing you and speak then. The second thing I want you to do is assess the recording in 2 different ways. The first way you assess it is muted. So you can't hear yourself say anything. The second way is unmuted. Now, when you're assessing it muted, I want you to pay attention to 3 key things. The first thing is your facial expressions. Specifically, are you smiling with your eyes or your mouth, or are you emotionless? The second thing to focus on are your hand gestures. Are your hands in a neutral position? And ideally, a neutral position is where your palms are exposed, your hands are at your center, where your audience can see them. Or if they're at your sides, your palms are facing forward towards your audience. But not bunched like this, not in your pockets, not behind your back, not waving around, but at your neutral position. And then with those hand gestures, are you synchronizing your language with your hands? We call these baton gestures. So if you're saying first, second, third, your hand gestures are emphasizing those key points. The third thing I want you to watch out for is your body posture. So when you're practicing, I want you to be standing, ideally as though you're on stage. Your shoulders are back, your chest is out, instead of being slouched forward. Because when you have the right posture, you're going to be able to project more effectively. And then when you assess your content unmuted, there are 3 things that I want you to particularly focus on. One is your tone. With your tone, are you lowering your tone when you finish your sentences, or do you have a vocal upswing? If you have the upswing, it might sound like this. I love coffee. It doesn't make you sound confident or credible. It makes you sound unsure of yourself. But if you say, I'm really happy to see you, lowering your tone at the end of your sentence, you'll come off as way more confident in yourself. So that's one, is your vocal inflections at the end of sentences. The second thing I want you to focus on is your emphasis of words. When you're speaking, are you speaking in a monotone, or are you speaking emphasizing a key word that you're saying? What I like to do is emphasize what I call content words. Content words are words that you might search in Google, and that would immediately give you results. But if you were to be emphasizing function words like pronouns or prepositions or articles, it doesn't mean anything. And it's not exactly what's going to keep your audience's attention. So focus on emphasizing key content words. You'll be a lot better. And the third thing I like to focus on are my filler words. Am I saying or am I saying something very fluidly? If you notice that you're saying filler words, I want you to do 2 things. The first is to slow down. Slow down your speech. It may seem uncomfortable, but the more you can slow down, the more in control you will be of your words. The more you'll be able to catch yourself before you say that filler word. The second thing I want you to do is that when you're about to say the filler word, do something with your hands. Slap your thigh or snap. It doesn't matter. Just get in the habit of catching yourself with a physiological reaction before you say the filler word. And over time, your filler word usage will decrease. Now, the third thing, and this is the most critical, I want you to do is that once you've given the complete assessment of where you are at the beginning, you need to focus on one thing at a time. So let's say that you've done the muted and unmuted analysis. Now, all I want you to do is focus on one thing. And that one thing could be improving your hand gestures. That one thing could be reducing the vocal upswing. That one thing could be eliminating your filler words. It does not matter, but I just want you to focus on one, because if you try to do everything all at once, the next time you practice your impromptu, you're not going to make any progress. But if you can repeatedly, over and over, and when I say over and over, it means every single day, practice eliminating one thing, you'll be surprised. You'll not only be able to eliminate that one thing, you'll build enough confidence, you'll build enough experience to naturally improve the others. So when you are assessing yourself here, that third thing is to do the impromptu again with a single focus. And that focus could be anything. Record yourself and see if you've reduced your filler words. See if you've improved your gestures. Take notes of this as you do it. And then as you do this day over day, focus on that one thing that you want to improve for at least 3 straight days. You can move on to another thing. You can move on to the next. But by the time you hit day 9 or even day 10, you will have polished at least 3 core aspects of your speaking that will be dramatically improved. Give that a try. Let me know what you think.